defend. I've seen you fucking defend before, and you're gonna do it here. If that's how we're gonna battle, we're not gonna have a chance to win. Jesus Christ, how much time do we have to talk about it?
I mean, if you're not going to recover Greg Graham, if you're just going to let him drive by you, if the rest of you are going to let him catch the ball outside the 3-second lane and drive all the way in here without one guy challenging him, then I'm leaving and you fucking guys will run till you can't even suffer.
I would say it's in a very demanding, almost commanding way, but very informal. Where they'll curse, they'll kind of talk to you I don't know, they're like friends sometimes. Coaches I've had in the past, they even get in your face and yell at you exactly what you did wrong, curse at you, and just completely say everything you did wrong. I like it. I respond well to when coaches yell at me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think if they didn't do that, your performance wouldn't be.
And I think it's important to know it's not okay to be just mediocre. They're expecting better of you, or if you make a mistake.
I don't think that our world has created that's okay, and obviously that's something that is kind of weird that there's that difference, but I think it's a different line. In a class, if I do poorly on something, it's on me, whereas in soccer or in a sport, it's on the whole team. If you screw up, it affects the whole team. And I guess in a class, especially if I'm just thinking about class, if I do poorly on something, that's my fault and that's it. It's only going to affect my grade. So I don't think the teacher needs to yell at me for that.
But I don't think that just because I do a bad design or get a bad grade, that my professor should yell at me. That's weird.
It's also very clear what professors want. There's clear expectations and there's clear almost rules of engagement with professors. You do these things and you don't do these things. It's a very black and white.
I think it's everyone coming together for a common goal, and it's a passion that we all share. And since everyone's working hard at this goal, it's you see the heart and you see everything. We just do what we can do.
Yeah. And I think most of the time you're playing to win, and a coach senses that you're not doing everything you can to get that win. They're going to let you know, and I think they should, because it's important to them as much as it's important to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the difference between sports and, say, a workforce kind of thing, obviously you would never get away with yelling at someone in a workforce, but in terms of a sport, I think it's different because it's a momentary thing. You have to change your actions now, or you're going to lose the game, or you're going to lose the next play. And I think that yelling, in that sense, we get away with it because it has to change then. Otherwise, you're going to be screwed.
It's competition. It's competition. In the classroom, you're not competing against another group of people necessarily, but in soccer, you have a common purpose to beat someone else.
I kind of get down on myself.
Yeah, pointless. What's even the point? Why are you yelling at me if you're not even gonna? Because it's just gonna worsen our relationship, and it's not gonna help the team in any way.
The conversation is pointless because I'm not going to get anything out of it if it's not constructive advice, because the whole point of a coach is to teach us how to get better. And if they're not helping me get better, then there's no point in the conversation.
Two concepts that consistently came up throughout my research were context and identity. Context explores the relationships between what is being said, talk, the place it is being said, cite, and who is saying it, power. This is what determines the idea that yelling can occur on a soccer field by a coach who has an established level of authority. It also determines that yelling should not occur in a classroom setting by a professor. It is context that determines the line that some of the interviewees mentioned. Identity. Lobel defines identity as one's conception of self in the world. It was really interesting that throughout the interviews, whenever the participants were talking about their coaches, they referred to themselves as athletes. and whenever they discussed their professors, they referred to themselves as students. They identified as something different based on their context, and this allowed them to accept what each identity encompassed.